Right, hello and welcome to Vanity Hair. Today is going to be my 2-month special episode. As you all know, back in September I went to Istanbul to get 4,000 grafts transplanted from the back of my and the side of my head to the top. And this is going to be a recap. Well, it's not going to be a recap, it's going to be an update on what happened since. So first of all, apologies for having not made a video for so long. But in all honesty, I've got nothing to talk about. I didn't want to bore you with the same old topics as I did in the 1-month episode, so I thought I'd give it some time to see if there's anything more to mention. And there is. First things first, I reckon, and this might just be myself, but I think I'm making some good progress here. So I think the hair's growing back quite well at the moment. And this isn't just me that said this. I've had a couple of friends. I know I've got friends. And a couple of people in the office as well. So first things first, I want to do just a little close-up of my head. And I apologise for this in advance. It's a bit intimate. It's a bit disgusting. What do you reckon? As mentioned about a million times already in the past, there was the shock loss, which is quite scary. And I'm not going to pretend it's all grown back properly. It's still all, well, a lot of it is still quite weak, white, fluffy hair. As you can see here in the front as well, there's a few bald patches, but I reckon compared to 1 month ago, and maybe even about 2 weeks ago, there's a lot more there to play around with. So I'm quite happy about that. I think having a think back to when people tell you that it's going to take about 4 to 6 months before you see any real difference. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing at the moment. It gives me a lot of hope for what's going to be in the next 2 months. Who knows, maybe even by Christmas I'll be rocking a much thicker look than this. So a couple of things that do go along with more hair. More ingrown hairs. So I've been having a lot of ingrown hairs on my scalp, which present themselves in the form of a gigantic pussy spot. So, you know, it looks like a bald testicle with all these boils on it, which admittedly are quite fun to squeeze. You know, I'm aware that this is a normal part of the healing process. It's hair trying to break through, so I'm not going to complain about having ingrown hairs, but it was quite embarrassing a lot of times. Just, oh, and this has just gone off. It's quite embarrassing a lot of the times walking around with, you know, especially when I had it in the front, just big red spots that weren't quite ready to squeeze yet. It's something that I was a little bit self-conscious about, but again, it's a good sign. If it's an ingrown hair, it means that hair is growing. Again, I've been using quite a few products. I've mentioned the biotin, I've mentioned the Viviscal, but I've also started using coconut oil. I don't know where I even got the idea. I think it was actually Longevita, the surgeon's aftercare team, that mentioned if you use coconut oil, there's some active ingredient in it that helps your scalp heal, and it helps blood flow to the scalp as well, which again, obviously, is what you want. You want blood going to your hair follicles, to your hair roots, delivering all the precious vitamins that I've been eating, and help it grow. So, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but putting coconut oil on my head, blocking my pores, that might have been a reason for a lot of ingrown hairs as well. It's not the most hygienic thing, I'm guessing, but if the results are there, then fuck it, why not? Another thing I've been doing to try and promote a bit of blood going to my head to try and stimulate it is cold showers. Now, I'm not a complete fucking lunatic. I haven't been having cold showers in the entirety of the shower, but at the end, when I do finish my shower, I step out, I turn down the temperature to as cold as it gets, and I just poke my head in underneath the shower head. So that, again, the cold water dropping onto my scalp is meant to stimulate blood. It's some sort of evolutionary thing, I suppose. When monkeys used to fall into water, it's just to give them all the adrenaline that they can have. I don't know. I read it helps, I read it doesn't help, but I might as well give it a go. Actually, give it a go yourself, even if you're not trying to grow your hair. It feels pretty good in the morning. It does wake you up. So, you know, it's something that you can try. Oh yeah, I've mentioned the bald spots in the front. I'm sure they'll grow out eventually. But another thing I did notice, and I'll show you a picture here on the side, is a couple of curly hairs coming through. Now, I don't know if this is going to be permanent or if there's going to be more of this, but it's interesting to see nonetheless that there is curly hairs coming through. I've never had curly hair, especially not at the back or the sides, but there it is. It's something to watch out for. Right, so needed a little breather there to reflect on my thoughts. What was I going on about at the end of the first month video? Oh yeah, things I couldn't do before and things I can do now. So at the end of the first month, I said I can start going to the gym. I have started going to the gym, but as we all know, we're in the second lockdown phase now, so I've just been doing press-ups or whatever else from home. The sweating, it hasn't really affected my hair growth by the looks of it. You know, some people will say that sweating is the worst thing you can do for your hair growth, for your scalp, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to go bald, you're going to go bald without sweating anyway. So doing a couple of press-ups at home hasn't really affected it. Going out into the sun. Now, again, as I've mentioned, England's been having not much sunshine since the end of the first month. But just before lockdown, I did manage to squeeze in a quick weekend to Athens. So here's a couple of pictures of the Acropolis and all the other fucking whatever landmarks they've got. Now, my head was quite sensitive in the sun still, so I wouldn't recommend standing around in direct sunlight for longer than like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. It was quite sore by the end of the day. My fault for not wearing a hat or putting any sun cream onto it, but again, I just didn't want to block any more pores with the sun cream and then having any more spots. But that's really it. And the last thing I said is, oh, I'm not allowed to shave my hair for 3 months because the such and such said so. Well, do you know what? I started to look like a scarecrow a little bit too much, so I did a bit more research on it. And I found that if you're going to be using clippers with brand new, I suppose, clippers on them, you know, with sharp blades that aren't going to catch your hair or catch your follicles or rip anything out, then you might as well just go for it after all the scabs have healed. So I did. I bought brand new clippers from Amazon, and I've been using the 0.5 setting since, and I think it's just a lot better look actually, especially with all the new baby hairs breaking through, just to level it all out, because I've got a lot of stronger hairs and then I've got the weaker hairs here, there, wherever, and it just wasn't an even look. It didn't look smart. Now I just even it out. It's the same length for the sides and the top and wherever, and I actually, do you know what, funnily enough, I quite like this look. Who knows how long I'll actually grow it once it does start growing properly. And that's really it. That's all I've got to say for the second month update. Again, I'm quite happy with the results so far. It can only get better supposedly, so I'm actually looking forward to doing a couple of more videos for the third month or the 4th month or whatever else there's ahead of us in this journey together. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, any comments, please let me know. And if I can be asked, I'll answer them. Cheers.